Okay, today we're going to work on this project, and we're going to start with the background. This is a beautiful project. It has wonderful colors and light and dark, and it's a great composition as well. So for the background, we're going to start with the wall right there. And for this, we're going to use Ultramarine Violet, Raw Umber, Burnt Sienna, Yellow Ochre, and Titanium Buff. And we'll see if we need Cadmium Red Light, but I think we're okay. So, and then, sorry, go ahead.
I thought you said ultramarine blue we were going to use. It's violet?
Violet.
Oh, okay. I apologize.
Maybe I made a mistake. Sorry. No, it's violet. Mm-hmm. Violet. So I'm going to start with the small brush, kind of like a small brush. It's number 4, just because I want to use it. I want to see texture. So using a small brush helps with texture. I'm going to dip my brush in water, and I'm going to start with the cool colors, combining together Raw Umber and Ultramarine Violet. You will see it looks kind of dark right now, but once I put the Titanium Buff, it will look, now I can gauge, if I want it to look more brown or more purple, and I want to see both of them, medium tone, both of them. It's going to dry darker, so I'm not gonna go too dark. This is a good gray, purple gray. Okay, let's start with this color. And then we can put on top some nice kind of warm colors after with the yellows. I'm using the corner of my brush, and I'm going to go random, and I'll show you, I'll explain why in a minute. This is kind of more like a gray that has purple in it. And now at this point, I want to take a little bit more of the brown, put in it Titanium Buff. So go back and forth between brown and purple. You don't want the whole thing to look purple. So some areas we're going to put some brown, and we can do the whole thing in purple and then add the brown on top. That's fine too. I'm going back and forth. I'm preparing the base because I have brown. Preparing the base to put add the warm colors after on top, where I need them, where I want to see warm colors. Okay, I'm going to clean my brush a bit and then start with some brown, more brown, a little bit of Titanium Buff in it. We might change as well eventually to a bit of Burnt Umber, but for now we're good with these, with the Raw Umber. Okay, don't need more than that. We're good. Okay. Clean my brush. Do you want me to, can I switch to the other color, to the warm colors, or do you want some time?
I'm okay.
Okay. I'm just going to switch to burnt sienna and yellow ochre. And with this burnt sienna and yellow ochre, I'm going to put a little bit of raw umber to this kind of to tone down the color, desaturate the color a bit, and use more kind of on. Let's bring in a little bit more burnt sienna in here. Take raw titanium buff. A little bit of this color too. That doesn't hurt. Good. All right, that's a good. We will slowly start seeing a beautiful texture. And even if you think like, right, we are covering what we did underneath, we are not. This is more like a dry brush. We're still seeing what's underneath.
Burnt sienna and ochre?
Yes, yellow ochre, burnt sienna, bit of raw umber, and titanium buff. Take a little bit more burnt sienna at this point. Add it here. I'm going to take a tiny bit of this color. Sometimes I follow what I see in the reference, not because I want to follow exactly the same, just because I like what I'm seeing. So I like the transition of the color here to a little bit of a cool color again with some yellow. So it gives me a nice combination of colors.
What are you doing on there? That looks more a lighter color.
Yes, that is the same I have here, which is a combination of burnt sienna, yellow ochre, and raw umber with titanium buff right here. But it has more of the yellow in here, right? It's like these colors right there. So what I did is I brought in the ultramarine violet and raw umber mixed with titanium buff. I had a bit here, a little bit, like tiny bit in here. I brought them in to this. So I shifted the color from those kind of warm yellows into a kind of a little bit more. I added a little bit more of the cool colors that I had here, the grayish colors. And I'm going to go over it with the warm colors again, but I'm just preparing the base. I just want to see also what's happening here. Oh, okay. Just mixing some yellows in here. And I'm going to take this yellow up here. Yellow and burnt sienna and raw umber. And just kind of bring it into this part. Now I'm going to bring in more of the raw umber, put some yellow ochre in it. Dark, now I'm going dark with burnt sienna. And I'm going to paint this part, because this part is in the shadow. It's just the building. It's this building right here. It's the side of the building, so we don't see much because it's on an angle. I'm going to wait for it to dry. So what I'm doing here, what I did is I used dark raw umber. I added more raw umber to the yellow ochre and burnt sienna right here. And then I covered this part where the building is on an angle. And then I took a little bit of yellow ochre and I put it right here. So it is on an angle, but not dark everywhere. It's just kind of a darker kind of detail in here. Okay, let's go down. And we will adjust all of these colors and values later on. We're just painting general now. No detail. All right. I'm going to take a break and pause. Okay, let's continue. So I added here burnt umber. What I'm going to do right now is darken this part more. This dark in here, I'm going to darken this more. And I'm going to, instead of having a straight line, I'm going to play around with the shape. Okay, so it's not one line, straight line. It doesn't matter what it is, what we're doing in here, what's happening, really doesn't matter. What we want is a movement. That's all. So I don't want to go out more. I'm going to go in negative painting right now, meaning that instead of going out with, sorry, just 1 minute. Instead of going out with the dark color, I'm going to go in with the background color that I have here and create a shape like this. So instead of me going out, I'm going to go in with this shape. I'm going to take my color that I just mixed right now, which is yellow ochre, burnt sienna, raw umber, and a bit of titanium buff. And I'm going to do this. I'm going to create just kind of a, nothing specific, just kind of make it look more interesting, you know, instead of just as a straight line. All right, so this is good. We're good here. Don't need more than that. Now, it could be a silhouette of a balcony, the bottom of a balcony, or architectural detail. Really, it doesn't matter. Now, I'm going to take raw umber, a little bit of the Ultramarine Violet, really dark, right? You can see, yes, really dark. And I'm going to come here and just kind of darken a little bit all of this. And it doesn't have to be a line, right? It's just kind of like here and there to create a silhouette or a hint of something happening in here. So it's not flat. I know there's I can see shutters right there, but again, we don't have the color of the shutters right now, but that's okay. Just kind of, movement of something. What we want is the dark, the depth, the dark color. That's what we're looking for. Not all the way in. Don't take it all the way in. Leave a bit before we start this wall. So the dark is mostly on the left-hand side. Same down here. It's going to dry darker, which is awesome. It's great. This is what we want. We want it to dry darker. Down here, we can go straight down to kind of the middle of the head of this guy sitting here. And again, give it a bit of, with the corner of my brush, kind of an interesting little, kind of edge right here instead of like straight edge. I'm going to switch to a round brush right now, small one. Take this dark and bring in this brush is really gone. Let's bring in a good brush. Okay. Again, just kind of little details here and there, which I'm seeing in the reference, and I'm liking those details. Right, good. Eventually, we're going to put, oh, No, it's lower. Sorry, it's lower right here. Okay, so this is the bracket where the lamp sits. Sorry, I need to clean this up. I'm gonna wait for it to dry and then I'll add the detail that I, removed by mistake. Or maybe I'll add it now. Yep, there we go. It just gives me a hint of something happening here. All right, go back again. Background. Let's try to finish this background, the face, the one that's facing us. Finish it and then move on. We'll move on to left-hand side. So I'm taking yellow ochre and burnt sienna, and I'm going to clean up a bit certain areas here, or enhance the color. Change. I'm not cleaning my brush, I'm just picking up the purple color with the dark or the color that I'm mixing here. So with yellow ochre, burnt sienna, mixing them together and putting them here, when I got to the bottom part right there, I used the raw umber and burnt ultramarine violet with titanium buff that I had here. I just picked them up with the yellows and I just went down to soften or to add a little bit more of the grayish color in there. So because I didn't want to bring all of that strong orangey color all the way down. Let's put some of this orangey color right here as well, just up here. Random kind of here and there. And also, right now, I'm going to take this orangey color with a tiny bit. I'm going to put in it titanium buff. Sometimes, again, it's not about getting exactly what I'm seeing in there. It's about that nice yellow between the door and the wall. There's a strip of yellow in there, wall, which is really nice. That's why I'm putting it in here.
A little bit of burnt sienna in there too?
Yes, burnt sienna, yellow ochre, and titanium buff. Okay, it's going to dry darker. And it's messy right now. It looks messy, but that's okay. We're going to be putting the color of the door anyway, eventually. And we'll push it in. This is a bit too much, like too wide. We'll push it in. All right, now. I'm going to take again Ultramarine Violet, put it here, Raw Umber, a little bit of raw Umber, Titanium Buff. All right, this is a kind of the same gray we were using before, and I'm going to make a batch of it here. This is a tiny bit too perfect kind of color, like flat. So I'm going to mess it up a bit using, this is the one the gray I mixed. It's right there. I put some of it here on that arch window or arch above the door. And then I added raw umber, and I'm with a round brush, I'm just mixing them. Okay, so this is a little bit too big. I'm gonna push it in with yellow, with the color of the wall. Orange, yellow, orange, and just whatever I have on the wall. You know, I'm gonna let it dry so I can go back to it again. I will adjust everything in here in a minute. Let's just fill the color in. I'm gonna let it dry for now and then move on to highlight a bit the upper part while this is drying. It's the same. I'm going to take titanium buff, put it in this mixture of raw umber and ultramarine violet with titanium buff, but I'm making it lighter. And I'm just going to come here and just kind of not necessarily any detail, just kind of specific, no specific detail, just lines, suggestion. Again, lighter. I'm going to bring in a tiny bit of burnt umber in here just to kind of make it more earthy and not, but still on the warm side. This is kind of the window or the door of the balcony that's in the back here. A little bit of burnt umber. Okay, enough work on this back wall. Let's take again this combination of ultramarine violet, raw umber, and I added a tiny bit of burnt umber to it, titanium buff. And I'm going to highlight this part. All of this is not going to be, this is not the focal point, so it doesn't matter. We're just kind of creating a background for what we're going to be doing in the front. titanium buff only, and I'm going to stop, take a break. Titanium buff only, round brush. And I'm going to pause. All right, let's continue working to clean up this part. I'm gonna use the same brush I was using before. I'm gonna take burnt sienna. No, I'm sorry, yellow ochre, put some burnt sienna in it. Take burnt umber this time. That will make it still, we're still using earth tones, warm colors. Because the one next to it, right here, this is a cool color because we used raw umber. So we're going to use, what we want to show is the same wall, which is here, this wall, but darker. So this warm color that I'm using right now is perfect. It just gives me exactly the same warmth of the color that I'm going to be adding here, but darker. Bottom part is a little bit darker than the upper part. So I'm adding more burnt umber in here. And instead of having a straight line, I'm going to make it kind of irregular. It looks like it's stone and it's not perfect. All right. Now, I'm going to take the, no, we're staying in the same brush, smaller. And I'm going to take yellow ochre and burnt sienna. Just yellow ochre and burnt sienna, nothing else. Yep, looks good. And I'll play around with the color, so it's not just orange, by adding yellow ochre as well. Let's put some yellow ochre in here because we don't know what's happening in here. So instead of all right. In a minute, I'm just going to go back to yellow ochre, just yellow ochre, okay? Wipe my brush, don't have to clean it, like it doesn't have to be cleaned with water. Just pick up some yellow ochre and just add a bit of this yellow ochre up here. There's a bit of light, but not much happening in there. Again, we want this wall that is not 100% perfect, but it has those beautiful orangey, yellowy earth tones happening. take now just burnt umber and color this wall down here in burnt umber. This kind of there's kind of a shadow area in this area here, in this part, right? So I don't know what it is, doesn't matter. I'm just gonna kind of pretend that it is something happening in there. Again, it's just to show this beautiful light in here, this wall that has a very nice light. That's all we're doing. It's all about darks. It's all about light, dark, and a bunch of colors. We're going to come to this part in a minute. I like to, this is it's dry right now. I want to glaze it. I'm going to glaze it with burnt umber only. Put a kind of not too thick color on top, just because it's looking a little bit too cool in there. And I want it to be an extension of the warm colors that I'm seeing in this area here. So instead of, I'm just going to kind of make it a little bit warmer instead of having this cool color from raw umber and ultramarine violet. There, much better. It's still dark, but it's warm. Before I move into this side, I'm going to, because I have the colors, I'm going to take gray I have here, put some titanium buff in it. Brown brush. And put the glass part of this lantern light here. Just preparing for the detail to come later on. Okay. Also, since I have burnt umber here, just burnt umber, I'm going to take only burnt umber, and I'm going to try to see if this sign, if I put this sign, just burnt umber, will it work, or do I need to add I'm going to need to add raw umber as well. Okay, that's good. We don't need, doesn't have to look perfect. Okay, good. Maybe a little bit of raw umber in here. Just so it looks like it's extended from this wall. It's sitting on this wall. That one here, which is really dark. Perfect, okay. Let's see. There's a messy part in here. There's like a lot of mess happening in here, like the stuff happening in here that we're going to simplify. Right now, I'm just going to take this brush, same brush I'm using, and all right, I'm going to take a bunch of colors right now. Orange, which is a combination of burnt sienna and yellow ochre. Again, I'm not trying to use exactly, like do exactly, make the same colors, or it's just I like what I'm seeing in terms of shapes in different colors. That's all. These are shapes in different colors. It will help with trying to make this side, left side, interesting. And it's good for value study here. All right, just go like that. Something's happening, we'll come back to it, and then we'll add a little bit more or less. And let's do a bunch. Let's take some burnt sienna. This is going to be just color. This is burnt sienna only. I'm just going to do this. Come back here, more burnt sienna. And you see, I'm going to start adding other things as well, like other colors. I'm going to take titanium, raw umber, mix it with burnt umber. I need dark, but I want kind of a dark line that is kind of warm. I'm going to put line here, push it down. Looks like an opening, some kind of an opening, and another one right here. Doesn't have to go all the way down. Some depth in there. I removed the part of this, the bottom of that balcony that was here, so we're going to just kind of add some details in here, lines, and not kind of details, but some lines back and forth. And a line here. Again, a bit of a dark color. Let's take some brown. I'm going to be highlighting in a minute, so it's not going to look like this all the way down. All right, a little bit of the orangey color. Some kind of same color here, which is this is just a combination of yellow ochre and burnt sienna. All of this is going to have a strong light in here, but we're working on the upper part, which is, it has the awning that kind of giving it a kind of a shadow in there, darker color in there. Again, I'm doing this not because I want to follow the same detail. It's just because it looks good. It's nice. It's like an architectural detail in there. All right, let's take in again yellow ochre and burnt sienna. A little bit more, actually, no, here. Good. Okay, now I'm going to take a tiny bit of titanium buff there. And I'm going to come here and again play around with some color. I'm going to take more of the titanium buff, warmer, more orangey, so it doesn't stand out too much. Again, I'm pushing in burnt sienna. These are warm colors in here in a shadow area. I don't want to add any um, purple in here. I don't want to make them cool. I like the idea. I like them. I like this warm color. I'm just looking at shapes. I'm not looking at what it means, what it is. It doesn't matter to me what it is. I'm just kind of painting shapes. burnt sienna again to give it this beautiful reddish color in here. Earth tone right there. I'm going to pause for a minute, so this is a little bit too much work in here, so I'll pause. All right, let's do the steps. There are two steps here that go into the store, I think, or the restaurant. And I'm going to take burnt umber for this. It's kind of a cool, warm combination. So I'm mixing raw umber with burnt umber, and I'm going to take titanium buff, put it in. That will give me a perfect color. I'm going to start from here. And this side as well. You're not going to see it until I put the strong light it's happening in there, and then you'll see. Okay, it looks like a blob right now. I'm going to take, just for us to be able to see what it looks like, I'm going to take white. Add this white to the same combination of the steps, which is burnt umber, raw umber, and titanium buff. I'm adding white to it right now. You don't want to use pure white, it's too much. But it is a strong white. It will dry darker with these colors. It looks white. Here, I'm going to bring in a bit of burnt umber in there. Okay. All right. This is a part where it is facing the sun. Right there. And then this is the upper part right here of the second or the first step. There is burnt umber and raw umber in the white. It's not just pure white. It looks pure white on the camera, but it's not. we're good for now. I mean, I'm using really warm color right now, which is fine for the light. I'm using burnt umber with white. We are going to be using grays, bluish gray, and I will extend the bluish gray in here with the reflection of the chairs. There is something happening in here, kind of like a greenery in there. We'll add that later on when we start using greens. On an angle, kind of an angle in here where the light is, we will introduce the burnt sienna again in there. It's a nice kind of cut. It cuts that strong light when we introduce the burnt sienna in here. I'm going to give this, I'm adding to the white and burnt umber that I'm using, I'm adding burnt sienna in here. The reason I'm doing this, just kind of to continue this lighter color, this warm value in here that's going all the way up, instead of having a strong color and then it cuts, sudden cut. So I'm kind of making it darker a little bit. This strong white in here, I'm making it a little bit darker up here using the same white I'm using in here, which is white and burnt umber for now. And then I added to this a little bit of burnt sienna. I'm gonna go back. Take burnt sienna. Again, this is just to cut that strong light that's in there. Let me take some burnt umber and add burnt sienna in it and yellow ochre to make it more orangey but light. Okay, this is good. All right, let's do that. It will look much better once we work on it again. Right now, it just looks like a bunch of colors. It doesn't look like anything, but that's okay. We will work on this side again, adding a little bit more stuff happening. Let's go back to this. It's white with burnt umber. Just kind of making the white not too stark.
Well, I'm going to get going.
All right. Bye, Deborah.
Thank you so
See
much.
you. Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah.
See you next week.
Keep safe, everyone. We're having more snow. Yeah, Sunday, I think it's the last of it for a while.
That's all right. All right, let's see here. This part here, just kind of turn it out. I think it's right here. It's the of a pipe or drains. Actually, I'm not sure I like it, even if it's there. So I'm gonna kind of
put a big potted plant there.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, I don't like it. I'm just gonna bring in. Yes, we'll put a plant in there. It will look perfect. We'll just leave it like that. But yes, plant will look, pot will look great. Okay. We can stop for today and we'll continue next week. Next week we'll work on this side. And then, so what we're doing is we're working on the background and then coming slowly to the focal point right there.
Well, that's a lot of work today.
Yes.
Like it, but we got a lot accomplished.
Yes, today. Yes, I know. It's just because it's what we're doing right now is just kind of same colors. We're just building up.
I love the colors.
Yeah, they're cute. They're nice. All right, so we're good for this week. Next week we'll continue working on the background on this side, the right-hand side. And we'll do the ground and then we'll start working on the people in the center.